pitmaster of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Small house, big flavor. By Arkansas Children's. Arkansas Children's gives you home field advantage for your child's health. By Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Locally owned, American made, and proud to be an official sponsor of the Razorbacks. Highland Dairy. Locally made. Naturally delicious. By Shelter Insurance. For award-winning service, find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. By Surfside. 100 calories, 0 bubbles. Party smart. Must be 21 and over. Regions Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Harps Quality Foods. Hometown fresh. It's that simple at Harps. By Edward Jones. For a financial advisor near you, visit edwardjones.com. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Reliable, affordable, responsible power. By Baptist Health. Arkansas's largest and most comprehensive health system. Your local Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. By Kubota. Find your local Kubota dealer at arkansaskubotadealers.com. Hellman's, the official mayonnaise of Razorback Athletics. By Domino's Pizza. Hog fans, order online at Domino's.com to save money on mouth-watering pizza with Domino's Rewards. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. Modelo Especial. Brewed for full-time Razorback fans. The Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Razorback Athletics. By Experience Fayetteville, the home of the Hogs. There's a reason locals call it Favoriteville. Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours with all our respect. By Whole Hog Cafe. At Whole Hog Cafe, world champion barbecue is what they do. By R-Care. Health for all. Greenway Equipment. Equipment that works as hard as you do. And by the University of Arkansas Online, offering flexible degree programs. Apply now at online.uark.edu. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.
On the move. Sam Shade across the way is on the move as well, and this one is in the books. Arkansas is 1-0. The Razorbacks in the season opener defeat Alabama A&M 52-7.
This is Hog Reaction, brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
I hold it down. What do you think?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
The Razorbacks have walked out of here with a convincing 56-14 victory. Sam Pittman, Butch Jones make their way to midfield. An historic day in the capital city. The first ever meeting between the Razorbacks and Arkansas State, and perhaps the final time the Razorbacks play at War Memorial Stadium.
Well, it's pretty definitive, Matt Jones. Welcome into Hog Reaction, sponsored by Sawyer's Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Bud Light. I'm Ty Richardson. Of course, we got QB1 with us. And, Matt, I know Tommy's theme and his phrase that he kept using all week was what Coach said, Coach Boone, and remember the Titans, leave no doubt. I'd say that's exactly what Sam Pittman and his team did today in Little Rock at War Memorial Stadium.
What a fun day to be with you here this evening. Whoop, hig, suey. How fun was that, man? Hogs started fast, never looked back, was comfortable the whole time. How fun was that?
It was great. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open for you. I know we've got plenty of reaction. People are driving back from Little Rock as we speak. You're driving all across. Be safe. I know, again, after games, it can get hectic. Apparently, traffic was pretty bad today. But, Matt, I want to start with the point you just made about fun. Taylor Green, once again, spreads the wealth. A lot of guys catch touchdowns today. See Jaylen Brown, Omega Blake, Rohan Jones gets in on the action. You had 4 rushing touchdowns. Taylor got on the loose. I mean, offensively, this has been a fun-filled team to watch through 2 weeks of this season.
Man, it was clicking, huh? Bobby P was calling it up. They were executing 28 points in the first quarter. Had one little special teams lapse. We lost contain. We had two players on that outside that kind of got sucked in, lost contain. And you know, as we go forward, you don't want that to happen. But man, the defense flew around. Taylor Green, best player on the field. I mean, that's back-to-back weeks, and I'd have to take a guess, Ty, that going into Ole Miss, he'll probably be the best player on the field as well.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Riley, who's in Pine Bluff tonight. Riley, you're on Hog Reaction with Matt Jones and Ty. What's going on, man?
Hey, appreciate you having me. I love your show. I was just wondering, do you think that the sold-out stadium would be, an indication of a renewal for the contract?
Yeah, I figured this question would come up tonight, Riley. I was not there. Big C was there with us. I knew I was going to have to do the post game here out of our base of operations, but I got multiple texts from some Little Rock buddies, an El Dorado buddy, others. I mean, this is the best atmosphere you've had in about a decade or so. I don't know. I evidently Governor Sanders, I think, said on KATV she'd like to make this an annual thing. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to that audio yet. But I think it's more about enjoying what Arkansas did today, Riley. That's a conversation that's going to be had, obviously, between, as Hunter Yurchek said this week, himself, Sam Pittman, Governor Sanders, the Board of Trustees, Chancellor Robinson. But I think we just we lean into what Arkansas. I mean, they just pounded them today. It was great.
Absolutely, it was a great game. I'd love to see an extension of that. It's just been a mainstay for the organization, and that's all I had. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, Riley, appreciate you calling in. Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963. And Matt, kind of to that question, does the outcome today, does the atmosphere today, the amount of people, in your opinion, does it affect judgment on a future game, whether, an annual or doing it down the road? Does today's outcome, which from all indications went well outside of traffic, does that affect decision-making, in your opinion?
Ooh, I don't think so. My vote for it, Ty, is I wish they'd still find a way to play a game in Little Rock, however they can make it happen. There's all those stories you hear about. We had Miss Charlotte Potts on yesterday, and how when she was growing up in Hazen, they weren't going to be able to make it up to Northwest Arkansas. And so there's a lot of stories out there like that they can make it to a Little Rock game, and you like to see it for the fans, and you like to be able to play this game in Little Rock, but I don't think it's going to happen very much anymore.
Yeah, again, that's something for higher powers over Matt and myself. But Riley, again, that's a question I know you have that others have as well. Now, Matt, I want to touch on something important, which is next week's matchup in Oxford, Mississippi. I don't know if you caught the injury that Austin Simmons suffered, but looked like a knee injury. I'm really curious about the impact of him starting up next week. We got plenty to react to from this game today, as Arkansas creams Arkansas State 56-14. But in terms of next week's matchup, I never root for injuries, even if it's a guy I don't like or hate. But that is a huge, huge thing for Ole Miss, and the possibility of not having QB1 for them next week.
Yeah, I looked at that score, and sometimes a team just kind of has your number. It's kind of just a bad matchup, and I know Kentucky was up early, and Ole Miss found a way to win. You saw Arkansas State. They were without their best player today, although that Jalen Renner kid, number one, man, he was nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. He was under duress. Arkansas ended up with 4 sacks today, Matt, but they were in the backfield a lot.
Yeah, but in the Sun Belt, you got to think going forward, man. I bet they'll win some games. He'll make a lot of plays. And who they had, that little 16 for Arkansas State, who man, he was little bitty, but he could find a way to get open. It was tough. I was impressed with Arkansas State a little bit. Being a Sun Belt team, but I really thought Arkansas on defense, man, it was just night and day different from week 1 to week 2. We flew around the entire game on defense.
Yeah, it helps when you force some turnovers.
1st and 10, empty set, 5 wides, passes intercepted. Sorry, outside the numbers at the 40. They'll run him out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Xavier Sori stepped in front of the receiver, picks off the pass, and the Hogs are in business again. A 26-yard return for Xavier Sori.
And he talked about that they didn't live up to the standard himself individually and teamed into it. Like overall, Julian Neal also got an interception in this game. Matt, they got that fourth down stop from the second team unit. Definitely agree with you. Defense played a lot better. Even though they gave up 7 more points, you could tell that unit played collectively better than they did last week, despite the point differential.
Yeah, their run fits were better. Their pursuit angles were better, and 7 of those points was on special teams. Which special teams you don't want special teams to get you beat. But for the most part, man, just A plus. I really thought the offense was an A plus. Taylor just made a bad read here or there. That was it. But and that's going to happen. You're going to win more games with Taylor Green than you're going to win without him. And mistakes happen. And that's just you keep going. But man, how impressive was this offense there, especially in the first half.
Yeah, the interceptions. Taylor talked about that after the game. We'll play some more audio from Sam Pittman and some of the other guys. And you can't have those next week in Oxford. But really, just an impressive game. Ryan and Prairie Grove texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. They did what they were supposed to do. I could have lived without the interceptions and penalties like we were talking about, Matt, but they took care of business. He also wants to compliment my dad's Baylor Bears, who somehow, some way came back. And one, did you watch that double overtime, Matt?
I saw it, but I watched some of Dow Loggins and App State hold on there. But yeah, Rhett Lashley, I'm always pulling for him as well. That's wild.
Who did the Mountaineers play for Appalachian State today?
It was like they were a small school outside of St. Louis.
Okay,
like Linden. I'd never heard of them before.
Okay. Oklahoma currently up on Michigan. That's the big one of the weekend. I think it's 14-7 right now. We'll keep you updated throughout Hog Reaction. Again, if you want to get in with myself and Matt Jones, Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open. Ashton's going to be answering your calls, 877-377-6963. More reaction after this.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See Agent Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Agent Brad Howe in Van Buren.
All right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Summer is ending, and now is the time to check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Axis wake and surf boats, Kama's bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Find them online at Kofer's.com. That's Kophers.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Equipment down, got a leak, lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
The big Gelco Outdoor Summer Clearance Sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat, Drake, Under Armour, Wrangler, and more. Men's and women's clothing now 50% off. Select Western boots by Ariat, Justin, R. Watson, Durango, and Twisted X, 50% off. Lazy Man box blinds for hunting season. Save hundreds of dollars off. Don't miss the 50% summer clearance sale. Gelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
They give to Russell, touchdown Arkansas.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I'll tell you where the best athletes probably in Arkansas are, you're going to laugh. Probably in the prisons and in the jails.
This is Hog Reaction.
All right, back here on Hog Reaction, Ty Richardson, Matt Jones with you till about 10:30. We'll see how things go. As long as your calls and texts are coming in on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, we will be with you. We've got a few more texts to get to. Before we do that, got to tell you about our presenting sponsors of Hog Reaction this fall. Bud Light, proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics, Sawyer Sunrooms for everything outside the house: sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, windows, and decorative concrete. Visit them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. Buzz and his team do a phenomenal job. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, your game day headquarters, the ultimate game day giveaway. You can sign up either in-store, Arkansas Game Day, and you can always shop online at shoponrazorback.com. But they're giving away $1,000 in gift cards, thanks to Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, Raleigh, and the team there. Plus, they've got the great brands, Nike, Champion, Tommy Bahama, and more. It's shoponrazorback.com where you're going to fight and get all those. Matt, you were talking about the defense earlier. Here's Sam Pittman after the game.
Last week, I think we had 5 tackles out of those 2 guys. Today, we had 24 or 25. We had 4 sacks. We had 10 negative yardage plays. We challenged this week, and I think you all know that I say we need more production out of the front 7.
And they got it, Matt. Hopefully they'll have it in Oxford next week, depending on who the quarterback is.
Yeah, well, I wonder how healthy everybody's going to be. I mean, Xavier Sorey, that his instinctual interception right there, that was fun to watch. Reminded me of number 53, Quentin Quaver. They called him Q. He did the same thing right there and had a pick 6 touchdown that was pretty cool. And then Julian Neal, number 23, man, dude was everywhere. Steven Dix, the same thing, man. They were flying around. Hopefully Philip Lee's okay too. I heard him say something. He missed the last little bit, but he looked pretty fast there on the rushing the edge.
Yeah, he's a little smaller, undersized defensive end, but he has gotten to the quarterback a little bit. So let's think about this. And Matt, correct me if there's someone I missed, but Philip Lee, Xavier Sori, Monte Harrison. Is there someone else that limped off or was helped off that I'm forgetting? Those are the three that come to mind from this game.
Yeah, I would just Sori and Lee were the only two that I saw. So I don't know if there was somebody else that as far as for the Razorbacks. I know Arkansas State had a couple as well. What about Braylon Russell's touchdown run? I mean, just beast mode. That's the type of extra yards he can get.
Green gives it to Braylon. He's got the first down, trucks a man at the 3, fights for the goal line. At the goal line, touchdown, Arkansas.
He's one of those guys, like he's never easy to bring down, Matt, but especially late in football games. I think about when he really came on and burst onto the scene for Arkansas football was in the fourth quarter against Tennessee. He had modest numbers today, 5 rushes for 25 yards and that touchdown you just heard. But when he's in there, he is a bruiser, and that play was on perfect display of what he can do near the red zone.
Oh man, the everywhere the receivers looked athletic. Mega Blake looks big. C.J. Brown, Jalen Brown. I mean, everybody was getting involved. Man, what a fun Saturday in the park.
Yeah, you mentioned several guys, wide receiver wise. Rohan Jones is another guy that we saw his speed on display. 2 catches for 74 yards. But I love when I just look at the stat sheet after the game, Matt. Omega Blake, 5 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. C.J. Brown, 3 catches for 36 yards. Jalen Brown, who you alluded to, a touchdown, 3 catches for 30 yards. Raylan Sharp, a touchdown, 2 catches. Jaden Platt, 2 catches for 31. A lot of guys on this stat sheet spread out. And I know, like, Andrew Armstrong was phenomenal last year. But a lot of times you just felt like that it was him and not as many other guys were contributing. You felt like Taylor was locking in. Taylor is definitely utilizing his play or his teammates more in spreading the ball out, at least through 2 games at this point of the season relative to what he did last year, Matt.
Yeah, there's growth there, and it's fun to watch. It's fun to see the maturation process and see him kind of blossom into to the leader he is and the quarterback he's becoming. So, man, yeah, he was an absolute joy to watch today.
So we've talked about some positives thus far. Matt, obviously it's a step up in competition next week. It was this past week moving on to Arkansas State. Now this game is concluded 56-14, the final in favor of the Razorbacks. You're really good at dissecting football games. What did you take away from not just tonight, but really the last 2 games and what Arkansas has to get better heading into the next week?
Well, you don't want to turn the ball over. I thought the defense was night and day. I know you look at the score from the first 2 games, but I thought the defense just flew around. That's what you want to see. They look like they were in midseason form. You can't have any kick return touchdowns.
Yep.
That's a big no-no. So I'm sure they'll work on that a little bit. And Ole Miss that's the thing. Whenever you mess up, whenever you do something on tape, they're going to go. They got coaches over there that make a lot of money as well, so they're going to go dissect that and see what your weaknesses are. So anything that Arkansas State did good, you best believe that Lane Kiffin would do some of the same things.
Yeah, he definitely took advantage of Arkansas last year, and I know there's a lot of personal feelings to not just losing 3 guys to Ole Miss, but also, again, how what's gone on with that team, especially last season when they demolished you in Fayetteville. Josiah puts out, he's listening in Missouri tonight, the running backs need to improve on pass pro. I don't think Arkansas gave up a sack tonight. There were a few times that Talon had to elude pressure and make plays, which he's definitely going to have to do next week. I felt like the offensive line was better from a week ago to this year, and really, Matt, from the opening jump, so you have that initial play, Omega Blake catches that crossing route, really reminded me of Jerry's, maybe it was Joe Adams that caught one against Alabama, like signature Bobby Petrino crossing route.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up catching another one in the game. Got excited, got ramped up. You could tell this team was ready to play today. And then just the blocking, that next play. I know you're always complimentary of your offensive line, Peters, Andrews, Doty, and those guys. I mean, the blocking for Mike Washington, that next play where he broke a few tackles and made his way to the end zone, that was one of the best plays that I've seen run-wise of this team the past couple years.
Well, he set him up. He used his vision. You know, sometimes those running backs, they get into open field and they just become heat seekers. And they hey, good gain, 12-yard gain, 14-yard gain. That was awesome. But he saw where the space was. He let his lineman get in front of him. He kind of did a little deke in the way he cut in, man. It was just kind of a veteran run that shows that, like, his vision is going to be – you have good vision and good speed. Man, he can make a play every week.
And Josiah wanted to, I guess I read it wrong. Sorry, Josiah. He felt like that they actually looked improved on pass throw. Mike Washington ends up only 9 attempts, but 116 yards. Think about this, Matt. So 18 attempts combined for Taylon Green and Mike Washington, and they had a combined 267 rushing yards. They averaged combined, 13 plays? They averaged like 15 yards of carry combined, man, with 2 touchdowns. They were all over the field today.
Man, that was fun. I wish we could get Arkansas State here in a couple weeks, get them back on the schedule.
Yeah, it would be nice to have them once again. Lewis Automotive Group hotline 877-377-6963. Going to hear more from Sam Pittman, but for now, let's hear from Arkansas's QB1, Taylon Green.
I feel like, props to the whole team, just how we responded. And, it didn't phase us. And, every drive, our expectation is to score. So Junior said we just got to continue to be focused and, do our job. So.
Well, they did their job tonight. All right, we've got more to get to here on Hog Reaction. Again, if you want to call or text us, you can do so. Ashton will answer your call, and we'll get to you coming up after this.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off, or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Dave and the crew at Eastside Liquor have everything you need. Football is back, and so is their Oktoberfest beers. Make sure you try their ready-to-drink cocktails and their outstanding bourbon selection. 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, with a convenient drive-through. You can also give them a call at 479-452-7311. Eastside Liquor, everyday low prices on beer, wine, spirits, and cigars.
At Arvest Bank, we believe small businesses are the backbone of communities. Whether you're just getting your business off the ground, planning for future growth, or managing the day-to-day, we want you to thrive. That's why we help businesses of all kinds find their strength. Because everyone deserves a financial partner who cares. Arvest Bank, we believe.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
It's the final splash sale at Burton Pools and Spas. Your last chance to make a splash this summer. Make waves with big savings on a 15 by 30 semi-in-ground pool for just $19,999. For the ultimate backyard upgrade, buy an AquaCrete in-ground pool and get a free hot tub or sauna. Need something smaller? Select plunge pools are only $39,995. But hurry, these deals won't last long. The final splash sale happening now at Burton Pools and Spas. Water for a better life.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
They give to Russell, touchdown, Arkansas.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I'll tell you where the best athletes probably in Arkansas are. You're going to laugh. Probably in the prisons and in the jails.
This is Hog Reaction.
All right, let's go straight to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline where Mac has called in here on Hog Reaction. Mac, what's going on, man? Mac, you there?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
It's just Big Mike.
It's
What's up, man?
Big Mike from Walden.
What's up, man?
Hey, I love our both our quarterbacks. I wish Jackson had got to play another series. Taylor threw him interceptions. It seems like to me, if he throws in that area, that's the most likely place he's going to throw an interception, from what I remember. God, Braylon just, you don't want to hit him up high if he's running straight at you. Oh, God, I can't believe that guy went chest to chest with him. Smack! Down on the ground he goes. Oh, my God. And who the heck was it? It was not. I hate that we won't play there anymore. I understand the money, but that playing in that place at times has been a big advantage to us. Some dang times, it used to be when it's full, it's the loudest place. I know Matt knows that, but I know Lou Holtz knows that because when he came back with South Carolina, he told them people it was so loud there he couldn't hardly think, and he'd coached there before.
Blocking the rock, Carlos Hall, yeah.
Yeah. It was nice to see Grammatica knock Florida out today. It was pretty fun to watch that.
Yeah, how about the Gators losing to USF? How about that?
Whoa, I couldn't believe it.
The look on the coach's face, Florida's coach's face, was like, South Florida's just running the clock out before they kick the field goal, and he goes, I'm never going to hear the end of this. I better go 6-2 or 7-1 in conference, or I'm going to get fired, for this crap.
Napier is one of the worst in-game coaches I've ever seen. The fact that Arkansas beat them 2 years ago, that was I was like cringing at the end of that game, and I'm just glad we won. We won in Gainesville for the first time ever, but that was, dude, Big Mike. He is a terrible, terrible in-game coach.
South Florida's not supposed to be a big game. He's supposed to run over them, especially with Lagway at quarterback.
He didn't.
I'm going to get off here before I'm starting to cough. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, see you, buddy. Lagway was 23-33, a touchdown and a pick, and not a good night. You mentioned the crowd noise, Sam Pittman, after the game.
It felt like a home game.
And, Matt, I listened to you this week, and correct me if I'm wrong, you said the loudest place you've ever played is in War Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, the fans, Arkansas fans, are the best that there is in the country, and there's just something about playing a game that matters in Little Rock, and the way the stadium's shaped and the crazies out there, man, they know what they're doing, man. It gets rocking.
All right, Ryan is in Hot Springs. Ryan, you're on Hog Reaction, man. Go ahead.
Hey guys, hope y'all are having a good Saturday night. But at times it wasn't very pretty, but pretty satisfying win. I hated that little bit of a lull we hit because, man, we probably could have scored 70 on it if we'd have wanted to. It looked to me like we improved our run game this week, and I love the intensity defense came out with. They got that one little misdirection with that reminded me of the old Malzahn play where you hide the littlest person in a little misdirection out. That Reggie Fish play we used against Auburn in 2006, what it reminded me of. And I know he's the same one that got the that house call on us, but man, that just pretty satisfying win. And hey, Ty, I know I'm not trying to be, because we talked about this. Maybe that curse is over now.
What curse?
Remember, I called in here. I told you about the A-State fan that put the curse on Arkansas.
Oh.
So I'm just trying to make light here a little bit. But anyway, that's all I got. I'm just glad we did what we were supposed to do and got a good win.
Yeah, and I'm glad you got to enjoy it today. Ryan, what did you think about just the atmosphere overall? I don't know if you attend those games every single year. Does it? I mean, what did it feel like today, being in that stadium?
It was awesome. It's definitely been the best one and that they've had in probably 8 years. I will say that. When I got in there right before kickoff, I was all like, "Holy crap! This actually is going to be a sellout." Because there's been 2 or 3 times where they talked about it being real close to a sellout.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the time everybody filled in. It was not even close to a sellout. But today they actually fans held up their end of the deal, and it actually was a sellout, and it wasn't as raucous as I've seen it before, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, you got to remember, you got 10 to 15,000 fans that are cheering for the Red Wolves, and that takes away from a good chunk of what could have been Arkansas fans. And I know Hunter Yurchek talked about they got the guarantee down to give more tickets. I also just kind of think about what it looked like on television, Matt. When they panned right before and Ryan, appreciate the call, buddy. Glad you enjoyed yourself today. When they panned right before, I thought it looked great on TV. Crowd was fully in their seats. It seemed like right before kickoff. I thought it was outside the technical difficulties, which we just have every time we play there. I thought it looked great on TV.
Oh man, it was a joy. Everything. The crowd looked full. It looked bountiful, and you're right, man. There was it was in the first quarter, but there was 2 different times where it's like I missed 4 or 5 plays, it seemed like, and it seems like there's always something like that going on.
Death taxes and technical difficulties in War Memorial Stadium. I did see on social media, you've got, and Ryan's obviously closer to Central Arkansas than maybe a lot of you listening right now, and I think that there's back and forth between Southern Arkansas, Central Arkansas, and Eastern Arkansas fans, and maybe River Valley and Northwest Arkansas, and some obviously are interchangeable. Some will go to Fayetteville, some will go to Little Rock. Doesn't really matter what they live. But then it's like the Northwest Arkansas media versus the Central Arkansas media. To me, I thought today was outside of the technical difficulties and maybe the traffic issues. I thought that was exactly how they should potentially end that game in War Memorial State. A blowout, you wipe the floor with Arkansas State, and there is no debate, and there hasn't been a debate outside of Jonesboro maybe, but there's no debate who is the number 1 program in this state after a game like that. All right, quick break here on Hog Reaction. 56-14, the final. Matt Jones, Ty Richardson, Lewis Automotive Group Hotline open 877-377-6963.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to Ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Sharp Equipment is thankful for the proud and honorable men and women of our military who sacrifice their lives and their families' emotions for freedom every day. They are forever grateful for their dedication to our country. They pray for our courageous military troops and their families. This salute to our troops is courtesy of Sharp Equipment in Van Buren, Arkansas, where current and prior military personnel receive 10% off every purchase as a small token of their thanks. Sharp Equipment would like to remind everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to the brave.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why our agents work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Isn't it time to check Shelter out? Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Chris Dooley in Fort Smith. Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
They give to Russell, touchdown Arkansas.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I'll tell you where the best athletes probably in Arkansas are. You're going to laugh. Probably in the prisons and in the jails.
This is Hog Reaction.
Our coaches had those kids ready, and they were ready to play. They knew the significance of this game to the great state of Arkansas. They knew it, and we had pounded it into them, and they knew it.
Yeah, Sam Pittman after the game, exactly right. Got to give them credit, Matt, from really the initial drive, the initial play that Omega Blake showed some emotion. This team didn't act like they didn't want to be there, which hasn't always been a characteristic of teams that that have traveled to Little Rock in the last day or so. And if this was indeed the final swan song, the final game in War Memorial Stadium, I can't think of much of a better way to go out.
Yeah, I think the Hogs would win the Sun Belt Conference. They would be my favorites. Now, Ty, for sure, man, the very first play was an explosive play, and the very second play was an explosive touchdown. I mean, what a great start. That's one of the things Phil and I talked about was whenever you're playing a team that you're a heavy favorite, you got to jump on them early. You don't want to give them any hope. Make sure they know who the boss is, and I thought that's what the Hogs did. And you saw when they returned that kickoff 98 yards, they kind of gave them a little life, and the Hogs just kept with it, and it was a pretty comfortable win. And that's what you do. You jump out on them early, and and everybody knows what's up. And man, you're proud of the Hogs tonight, man. I thought they went out there and they fought hard for the entire 4 quarters.
More life in Little Rock than there was in Eugene, Oregon. 69-3, the final between the Ducks and the Cowboys. Oklahoma State gets beat by 66 on the road. I think that was a 27.5-point line, Matt Jones, and they go there and get absolutely annihilated by Dan Lanning's group.
Yeah, Oregon's tough, man. I think they had the number 1 offense in the in college football last year. I know they had a guy named Malachi Hughes that was the number 1 transfer, but I don't even think he's playing. He was a running back out of Tulane. But
I remember you asking Bill about him this week. Yeah.
Yeah. He was back-to-back 1,000-yard rushing seasons with Tulane and his number 1 portal running back, and Oregon doesn't need him, man. That Dan Lanning's he might be one of the most underrated coaches just because he's on the West Coast and we don't see him as much.
Got an SEC pedigree and has the backing of Phil Knight, and it seems like them and Texas Tech are just – you got Cody Campbell for Texas Tech and then Phil Knight for Oregon, and they will just spend whatever amount of money to try and get their team's national championships. Dan in Mount Ida texting in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. He was on the field for the Band-Aid, riding the hog, and had all the instruments around him. His feet vibrated on the floor so much that he would touch in the field. He was moving like a plastic player on an electric football table. He bets tonight was even louder. So he was really pleased with, I guess, the amount of people and fans that were cheering on Arkansas today and tonight. Talon Green texted from Mason and Conway talking about TG, saying, minus the 1 interception where he had a bad read, really had a great game. The game was exactly how it was supposed to. Sam Pittman going to Oxford next week and getting to win. Matt, you've seen this team play twice. I don't know how much Ole Miss you've watched. Any early thoughts on that game in Oxford at night next week?
Weird things happen at night. We'll find out about Ole Miss's quarterback, and it's kind of been feast or famine with Arkansas and Ole Miss lately. The last couple of years, Ole Miss had us. The year before that, we kind of whooped them pretty good. It was a cold evening. You're getting Ole Miss early. I don't think Ole Miss is firing on all cylinders right now. Now they've played a better opponent. I don't think we've played anybody that's as good as Kentucky.
Good point.
But that's excited. Here we go. That we kind of got a little warm up, little appetizer these first 2 weeks, and let's see if we're ready to play all 4 quarters against the SEC team on the road.
Well, got this message from David Cobb on CBS. He writes for CBS Sports. Austin Simmons had a late injury scare, but he was all smiles afterwards, walking off just fine after the Ole Miss win. So we'll see what the prognosis is for Austin Simmons, who, for those who don't know, Ole Miss quarterback, got hit and landed kind of awkwardly, looked like a knee, but we'll see what kind of his deal is next week. To the phone lines we go. Brent is in Searcy. Brent, what's going on tonight, man?
What's going on, Ty and Matt?
Yo.
I just want to say this is the first time in a very long time that I saw the Hogs step into a game with a team that they are supposed to beat and just destroy them from the get-go.
That's a good point. Yeah, there have been, unfortunately, incidents and non-conference games that haven't gone your way in the last decade or so, and really from the jump, you never felt like this game was in doubt, Brent.
And I'm not counting like UAPB or Alabama A&M. I'm talking like San Jose State,
people like that.
Yeah, kind of that second tier. Mm-hmm.
Yep, you remember those games, and I was very, very proud of the effort and everything. And let's go to Ole Miss's quarterback is a turnover machine waiting to happen. Just drop a quarter in it and let him spill out turnovers.
Yeah, he threw two interceptions today against Kentucky. Is going to play another SEC team in Arkansas next week. So hopefully you're able to get some pressure like you were able to force today, and Matt put him in some tough situations.
What a great test for Travis Williams in this defense.
Yep.
And again, I just go back. I hope our two guys that were kind of limping around, Phillip Lee and Sorey, I hope they're healthy to go. But, man, the defense, night and day different. So proud of those guys, their effort today.
You mentioned Sorey. Here's Sam Pittman on a star linebacker after the game.
I knew Sorey was going to have a good game just because he was so low and down about the game that he played last week.
What I really appreciated last week is the first thing Sam Pittman out of his mouth was talking about how he was disgruntled with the defense. Xavier Sorey was on the record last week, I think multiple times, that is not his standard. That is not the defense's standard. Does that mean they're going to have a top 5 SEC defense? Not necessarily, and I don't think that's necessarily going to end up like that. But it seemed like, Matt, despite them winning 52-7, there was some accountability that they really put on themselves before the fan base and or someone like myself would even attack them for. So I just appreciated that last week when they were talking about just how they thought they played.
That's a mark of a good football team. That's a mark of a team that wants to be coached. They listen, and they went out there and they did it, man. It's up to these guys. That's what people. I think most people understand. It's nothing we say, nothing we do is going to matter. It's how hard do these guys want to play? How much effort do they want to give? How much do they want to listen to the coaches and go out there and fly around? And that's what they did today, man. That was one of the funnest defensive games that I've seen in the last couple of years, Ty.
Text from Groundhog, defense was definitely better, good game, and Talon Green is big time. I've had some people text me about Talon being the Heisman conversation. Let's see what he does against Ole Miss before we start choo-chooing that train. Text from Troy and Harrison here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I grew up in southeast Arkansas near McGehee. I went to a lot of games in Little Rock, but even now I know it's time to play all our home games in Fayetteville. You love War Memorial back in the day. Great memories, but it's time. We left 0 doubt. Go Hogs. Another text from Hogwild and Van Buren. Gundy should have been fired after last season, to be honest. Did get a victory against Arkansas. Matt, what do you think's going on in Stillwater, man? I mean, last season they go on the road and get beat by 66. Do you think it's Mike Gundy's final year in Stillwater, Oklahoma?
You know, I'm a Mike Gundy fan. I'm not going to say anything bad about Gundy, Ty. What I'll say is even Coach Nutt, he was here for a decade, and to be somewhere 10-plus years, what was Calipari at Kentucky, 10 years, I think, and Gundy's been there for longer than 10 years. So sometimes it's time for a change, time for a different spark. Maybe you give him another year or two. I don't think Mike Gundy's forgot how to coach, anything like that. It's just kind of a down spell for him.
Yeah, not a good season thus far. We'll see if the Cowboys can turn it around. Quick break here on Hog Reaction, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer Sunrooms, and Bud Light. More with Matt Jones and Ty Richardson after this.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Hey, Hawk fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter and Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based brands.
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Back to school means back on your feet, and True Grit Running Company has you covered. Whether you're a student, teacher, nurse, or retail warrior, our footwear keeps you moving in comfort and style. Shop top brands and discover new ones. Plus, the best socks, insoles, and gear that'll keep you going strong all year long. This season, step into success at True Grit Running Company, where comfort meets grit. Located on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Run in today before the bell rings. True Grit Running Company, fueled by passion, built for you.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom-and-pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics. Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With a never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off or take 4.9% for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer and go 0 to 60 in under 3.9 seconds for as low as $9.99 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
They give to Russell, touchdown Arkansas.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I'll tell you where the best athletes probably in Arkansas are. You're going to laugh. Probably in the prisons and in the jails.
This is Hog Reaction.
All right, back here on Hog Reaction. Matt, there was something I wanted to ask you about that Jacob in Fort Smith, Texas, here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. I felt like he did last week. You were a running quarterback, and obviously there's a balance between trying to score, make the play with not getting yourself hurt. Jacob's asking you think Taylon Green took too many unnecessary hits today? What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, you don't want to try to handcuff these guys that are athletes, and he looked like he was still a man amongst boys. Even Jalen Renner, he took some hits. Let's even look at the other opposing team's quarterback. He took some hits. It's a collision sport. It's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about being smart and knowing when to get down, but. The other thing is you want to play fast and play aggressive. Whenever you slow down or get timid, that's when you really do get hurt. So, he's learning. He's still a baby when it comes to being a quarterback, and you're seeing him grow up each game. And I thought he was a joy to watch today. I don't think he did too many things wrong. He had a couple passes wrong, but I thought he read the option. He read the option good. He was aggressive when he ran the ball. There wasn't really – I mean, if Taylon Green was out there, 55 plays, he might have had 3 negatives, man. I thought Taylon Green played a great game.
Not only was he 17 of 26 for 4 touchdowns, did have those 2 interceptions, maybe 2 of those 3 plays, but again, 9 rushes, 151 yards, and a touchdown attack onto that. If he has 5 total touchdowns next week in Oxford, I like your chances to beat Ole Miss. Hopefully they have similar stats to that. Speaking of quarterbacks, Ryan in Prairie Grove texted us in about John Mateer in Oklahoma, who is currently up on Michigan right now, 21-13, a little over 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, a back and forth between the Sooners and the Wolverines. Matt, of the quarterbacks that you've watched thus far through 2 weeks of the season, who are some of the more notable guys that have impressed you?
Well, number one is number 10, Taylon Green, and we can say it's the level of competition, and we can make the joke that we would win both those 2 conferences, whatever those last 2 conferences were. That's for sure. Nussmeier in LSU, that dude's a G. I was impressed with the freshman at Notre Dame as well as Carson Beck at Miami. There's a lot of good. I mean, Michigan's got a young quarterback that's going to be pretty good, I think. There's a lot of good quarterback play going on. Oregon, speaking, I know you just brought up Dan Lanning.
Dante Moore.
Yeah, man, that dude, for what Oregon does, man, he is fun to watch. And even Clemson's quarterback, I think he's a stud. I haven't seen Austin Simmons play yet. I know that's who we play next week. What do you think? Have you seen Austin Simmons play?
Man, so I think it was Big Mike that talked about it earlier. He threw 2 picks today. I watched him a little bit last week and this week. He definitely was not as comfortable today on the road in Lexington. I don't know what his final statistics. Let me pull this up real quick. But again, when you transition from playing your first non-conference game to your first conference game, there's a little bit. But he didn't have a touchdown today, Matt. He was 13 of 24 for about 54% completion, 235 yards, the 2 picks that I referred to. So he wasn't like unbelievable. I think you're catching him at the right time. I think this Ole Miss game, well, I don't know necessarily if I'm still going to pick Arkansas to win. I think you'll at least be in the ball game. I don't anticipate being another blowout like it was last year, and I hope he plays similar to him playing today, because if he does, you are going to win that football game next week. Dan in Mount Ida texting in, he said he only saw really 2 mental mistakes from Taylon Green tonight, and he feels like if he does that either next week or from here on out, that they will win football games moving forward. Text out of the 479. Matt, with the ever-changing college landscape emphasizing Power 4 or 5 opponents and the SEC mandating 9 conference games, there's no more room for Little Rock. Every other year, 5 away SEC opponents, plus the schedule against the high-performing opponents. He doesn't see how we can keep Little Rock. Love Little Rock, but Fayetteville needs to embrace their passion more. Matt, again, I know where we're going to get texts and calls like this, but if this was the last game, you got to give credit to that crowd. Because it was, again, from the initial the initial kickoff to throughout the game, they definitely impacted and helped Arkansas beat Arkansas State today.
Yeah, man, the Arkansas fans are some of the best in the world, and I think there's a little nostalgia when it goes along with playing in Little Rock and a lot of the success. I think the announcer said 220 games, I believe, that was the 220th game the Hogs played there. So yeah, it's a you kind of, it's a sad day, but it's a celebration as well. It's like, hey, thank you for the good times, the great memories. You know how I feel. I think you should find a way, even if it was once every 4 years. But first of all, let's get that turf off the field and get it to real grass. Let's talk about player safety. But yeah, I mean, just when you hear all the stories, I'm a humanitarian, Ty, that when you hear all the stories of the people telling stories about, hey man, we couldn't have ever made it up to Fayetteville to make it to a game. The only way we could see a game was in Little Rock, and those are some of their best memories. That kind of tugs at me, so I'm for that. But I get it. I understand the dollars and everything that it takes to run a good program, and you want to be successful, and you want to be able to buy players these days, this time of age, and so I get it.
Matt, I heard you talk about physicality earlier this week for Arkansas. Andrew from the Grand Tetons was surprised that Arkansas was as physical as they were tonight. Did you see, you mentioned the defense, did you kind of see it on both sides, them up their level of physicality today in Little Rock compared to week 1 in Fayetteville?
I did. I mean, everybody, and that's what you're supposed to see from game 1 to game 2, especially how lax that camp is these days. 20 years ago, they used to hit and tackle a little bit more, so I think the first game from 1 to 2, that's kind of the natural progression that you're supposed to see, and we'll see now. We'll see if we can carry that over, because say what you want about Ole Miss, that's a real football team, man. That's a top 25, top 30 football team in the country, and so that's going to take all you got. You're going to have to go up there. You can't have a special teams lapse where they run one back. You can't throw 2 interceptions in a game and expect to beat Ole Miss. So it's going to take a full team effort.
So heading into Notre Dame, Matt, Hog Wild wants to know: do you feel like they're going to be 4-0, or do you feel like they're going to be 3-1 heading into that Notre Dame matchup week 5? You got Memphis and Ole Miss left.
Yeah, no, I think they get past Memphis. I don't know. What have you seen? Somebody tell me, Hog Wild. Tell me, what have you seen that makes you think Arkansas is going to beat Ole Miss? Is it the fact that our offense is beating a lesser opponent? Is it the fact that you saw the defense shine today? I don't know how impressed I am with Arkansas State. Like, if you start thinking, how many games is Arkansas State going to win going forward? Now, I like their quarterback, and they got a couple nice pieces, but let's be honest. I mean, we had the better players. If you combine the two teams of Alabama A&M and Arkansas State and let them take their best players, they still couldn't beat this Razorback team.
Yeah, you're right on that. Again, you're trying to balance the offensive firepower you've seen versus in the first 2 weeks versus the lack of competition that you've gone up against, and then you look at Ole Miss struggling a little bit, still gets a 7-point victory over Kentucky today. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't watched any of Memphis whatsoever, so I don't know if I'd be able to judge that. I did want to ask you something about Sam Pittman. Here was him talking about Mike Washington's run after the game.
Mike broke second play of the game. Corey Robinson had a hell of a block on that too.
Matt, so that play, second play, like Coach Pittman referred to, Washington runs wild, gets a touchdown. You also have the Omega Blake block at the end where Talon took it in and scored. I think there was a C.J. Brown block that sprung someone else. The downfield blocking tonight, and I know that's underappreciated at times, but I thought it was wonderful for Arkansas's offense today.
Oh man, the effort was A+ around, and that's the continuation is what we like to call it. You get run after contact. Yards after catch, yak, and you have to have a good team effort. I had a lot of great teammates. George Wilson was one of the best blocking receivers that I've ever been around. Richard Smith, gave maximum effort on every play, and that's what you like to see. And I think you saw that. I thought you saw Ty. I thought you saw a team playing with a smile on their face today.
Yeah, they definitely were just happy to be out there today, and you saw it from the opening jump. And I mean, it's plays like this that brought smiles to the fans' faces as well.
Green, though, going to keep it on the option. Right side, he's in the clear across midfield. They've got to catch him, and they can't do it. Green to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas. 64 yards on the option.
And I think it's the excitement level of plays that you've seen the first 2 weeks. If you were going to lean in, like Hog Wild asking us if you think Arkansas can be 4-0 heading into the game. It's not that the defense definitely picked it up today, but I think it's the ceiling of Taylon Green, Matt, that people are wondering about. It's like, man, how far can this guy take us this fall?
Well, if the offensive line gives him time, we've seen these receivers be able to get open, and we've seen Taylon Green make the right read. So that has to be encouraging. So we've seen if you give Taylon Green some time, you've seen him do his thing. So let's see. This would be the biggest first real test that this offensive line has had this year.
All right, let's go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Virgil is called in from Bryant. Virgil, you're on Hog Reaction. What's up, man?
Hey, dude. Nice to hear y'all. Appreciate everything you said, and it's very understandable. And I think the Hogs look great. We'll know come Saturday, won't we?
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it, Virgil?
Yeah, Ole Miss. I watched them tonight, but they're beatable. So that's encouraging to all Razorback fans, but I think they would agree with me if they watched a ball game.
Yeah, they are beatable. They're not as good as they were last year. You're getting them, again, week 3. It's their first SEC. It's Austin Simmons' first SEC home game that he'll start. I mean, I like Arkansas, again, to go in there and give them everything they had. I saw a line that was like 12.5, which seemed way too high to me. Virgil, I think it's going to be a heck of a football game at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
What are you talking about, 12?
There was a line that came out in, I think it was
already
DraftKings,
okay.
Yeah, earlier. But I'm going to guess that's going to change pretty drastically.
Yeah, it won't be that for Ole Miss or Arkansas.
Ole Miss was like a 12 or 12.5 point favorite, but I don't think that's going to.
Oh no. But that's okay, because that's why we play it on the field, isn't it?
Exactly.
But I thought they done well. I saw it and everything, and it looked okay. It looked really good. I'm just glad Petrino's doing his job right, and our quarterback is pretty doggone sharp. What do you think?
Don't disagree with anything you said. Sam Pittman was very complimentary of Bobby Petrino after the game. Virgil, we appreciate your call. Lewis Automotive Group hotline 877-377-6963. Sam Pittman said he wouldn't trade Bobby Petrino or Taylon Green for anyone, and yeah, he has been really sharp through these first 2 games. Again, one of the stats that Matt referenced from last year is Taylon not throwing a touchdown against a top 25 opponent. I can't remember if it's on the road or both those games at home, but he's got a chance to throw multiple touchdowns next week in Oxford.
Yeah, man, let's ride the wave. This team is, winning becomes contagious, and why not? Why not go down there and who's to stop you? Nobody's stopping you from going out there and playing your best game of the year and beating a top 25 opponent. Let's go.
All right, more reaction coming up here on Hog Reaction. You can get in here like Virgil just did. Stay with us here as we continue on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com, and our Hit That Line Now app, powered by Taco Bell.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
The Big Jelco Outdoors Summer Clearance Sale is going on now. Summer clothing by Ariat, Drake, Under Armour, Wrangler, and more. Men's and women's clothing now 50% off. Select Western boots by Ariat, Justin, R. Watson, Durango, and Twisted X, 50% off. Lazy Man box blinds for hunting season. Save hundreds of dollars off. Don't miss the 50% summer clearance sale. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let us ensure your vehicle is prepared for the summer. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart. We keep America rolling.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Football, fantasy drafts, new school supplies. It's my favorite time of year. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Born and raised in the River Valley, I know how crazy traffic can get this time of year. As kids head back to class, remember to use caution at crosswalks and in school zones. But not all accidents can be avoided. If you or your loved one is injured in a car wreck, call today. 479-769-1505. No win, no fee. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
Do you love cooking and being a part of a great team? Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and I was talking to Linda Newmeyer the other day. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, Newmeyer's Rib Room, and Newmeyer's Whippoorwill are hiring kitchen staff. Stop by any of the 3 restaurants in downtown Fort Smith. I used to work at a pizza place back in the day. Maybe I'd give it a shot. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the Whippoorwill, and Rib Room. Apply today and join the Newmeyer family.
You're hired. Come back tomorrow at noon for training.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
COP CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Oh, did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your shelter insurance agent, Randy Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Elma. From October 26th to the 29th, Crabtree RV will be having their big fall sale complete with great door prices. Bring the little ones on Saturday, October 28th for our community trunk or treat. There will be candy, games, bouncy houses, and more. Whether it's our big fall sale or trunk or treating, you'll not want to miss these October events at Crabtree RV Center in Elma.
Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, everything for outside the house, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
They give to Russell, touchdown Arkansas.
Don't miss Hog Reaction after every football game. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
I'll tell you where the best athletes probably in Arkansas are. You're going to laugh. Probably in the prisons and in the jails.
This is Hog Reaction.
Is Green going to throw off play action? His tight end, Rohan Jones, alone left side. He may score. Jones down the left sideline. Touchdown, Arkansas.
Matt, it was cool to see Rohan Jones, who didn't catch a pass last week and started the game one against Alabama A&M, catch that sideline pass. He ends up with some good yards after the catch, and you saw some of that speed that we heard about in the offseason on display, and it's cool to just kind of see the tight ends, him and Platt, get involved a little more tonight.
Oh, man, think about being a backup quarterback, and they're like, all right, we're going to put you in. You're going to start on your own 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And they handled themselves well. You know, the quarterback, KJ, did his thing, and they even had an illegal motion, or was it a wrong formation, and they were still able. He went 99 yards on that. I mean, that had to be so cool right there, and what a good teaching moment, you know. Quarterback gets in, you're backed up 99. He takes him down there, and I think he completed a pass to all 3 of the tight ends on that drive.
And, Matt, to your point, I didn't clip it, but Sam Pittman, one of the things that he said after the game, said maybe he's the most proud of was that 99-yard drive that you referred to where KJ scored, and then also the defensive 4th down stop, which I'm going to be honest, I think he scored and they blew it early. But those were it seemed like that Pittman was as happy about those two plays and really that drive as he was of anything that happened in the 56-14 win.
Oh man, you got to be proud of those guys. You get your number, you show up, you show out, top to bottom. The only thing that if you want to be just kind of picky was the kick return. You got to get better at that, but as far as special teams, they've been pretty good. The offense has been clicking, and the defense made the jump from week 1 to week 2. How are you not excited? You know, you talk about going into Ole Miss. How are you not halfway excited about this opportunity?
We could be headed for that game back in 2021, Matt, where Matt Corral and KJ dueled back and forth. I think it was 52-51 the final in favor of the Rebels. But, I mean, the way offensively Lane Kiffin can get things humming, and at least what we've seen through 2 games, albeit against not great competition, we could be heading for a wild offensive type of juggernaut game next week in Oxford.
You think that's a game, Ty? You've seen this offense go for 2 weeks. You think the Hogs, if I said over-under, Hogs 24 points.
Ooh, that's a good line.
What are you saying?
I'll give Taylor and company the benefit of the doubt. This to me is the game that they have all circled. Fernando Carmona's talked about it openly. I've heard other players talk about it. I think there is a vendetta out for Ole Miss. Does that necessarily mean 100% that I think they're going to win? No. I still think it's going to be a really tight ball game. But I think Taylor and company will go over 24. What do you think?
Ooh, man. We'll see. We'll see. I think that we've shown that if you give him time, he can find the open guy. He's making decisions quick. He's making really good decisions when to run. We'll see what this defense can do. What type of game? Maybe we get a kickoff return for a touchdown. You know, I thought they blew the whistle. I don't know what happened. Was that a legal fair catch? But I thought Braylon Russell had a little gap right there.
Yeah, I did too. I don't know if it was him or someone else did the fair catching, but it looked like he was about to take it a little bit. Matt, I did want to ask you about just diagnosing plays and coverage is from the quarterback perspective. You mentioned Taylor Green just kind of getting in rhythm and whatnot. What was it like for you, and what's it like for Taylor when you go up against, like, you've already had a level up. You went from FCS speed to FBS speed. Now you're going to SEC speed on the road next week. Like, how much time do you need to just change and get used to what you're going to be seeing on the field next Saturday night in Oxford?
Well, it'll be one of those deals where it's hopefully you can start fast again. You're going to face a little adversity. We don't know when, probably this week. The first 2 games really has been pretty comfortable, hasn't been any adversity, and say what you want about the first 2 games, but that's how you want to draw them up. You know, it wasn't like a game where we couldn't run, we couldn't tackle, we couldn't pass. I mean, we did everything we wanted to do. We got better from week 1 to week 2, and hopefully we can make that jump to week 3.
Yeah, because it is going to be a significant jump, an opportunity to be a road team in Ole Miss that is trying to vie for not just a college football playoff spot, but there's a lot of Ole Miss fans that feel like it. Don't know about Austin Simmons. We'll have to kind of wait and see from Lane Kiffin on whether it's his press conference or the Wednesday SEC teleconference. And then also, unfortunately, Matt, you got a couple guys banged up. Sam Pittman said after the game he thinks Xavier Sori's going to be fine. Phillip Lee, Monte Harrison. They're just some guys that got some dings and bruises, and you need all hands on deck. And I guess I wonder about why am I blanking on the D tackle that's been out the first 2 games? Geez Louise, I'll remember his name. But you wonder how healthy you're going to be for this game next weekend.
Yeah, get in the treatment room. You get you
David
kind
Oakey.
of
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there you go. We you kind of get not that it's a game off against Memphis, and I was a little surprised again that we played the starters a little bit late. There's a couple series you're just thinking, man, why are the starters still in? But then the offense, they can't line up right, or you jump off sides. Then you get, well, there was your opportunity. So when you do get your opportunity, if you're on the second string, go out there and do well so that way you can get that opportunity, because you don't want somebody getting hurt. I mean, it's a collision sport, contact sport, and injuries happen. You can't play scared, all that. I get all that. But when you're up 35 at home, let's let some other guy, there's 8 minutes to go. You're not going to lose that one.
Matt, and on that note, because I heard you talk about on 3 up, 3 down this past week, like when is the score where you start subbing out guys? I mean, is it 24?
It's always situational.
Okay.
It's always situational. It's how's the game going? What's the score? Obviously, how many more possessions do you think there are? So let's say there's 9 minutes to go in the game. Well, that's not 2 possessions a team. So if you start going by the numbers, you can't lose that. There's no way they can come back. So you're just kind of looking at all that. Becomes a math problem a little bit, but it's just always situational based on how, and then kind of how the game's going, a little bit of your gut, how the feel is, and then it's also based on practice. It's like, has the second unit been doing well enough to earn that opportunity that I can trust you to put you out there? So there's a lot of things that go into it.
This is Hog Reaction presented by Sawyer Sunrooms. Buzz Sawyer and his team can help you with any sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, windows, and decorative concrete. Visit them online at sawyers-sunrooms.com. The Stadium Shop on Razorback, their ultimate game day giveaway right now from now all the way up to the Missouri game. You could stop by and see Robert, Elizabeth, Matthew, and Raleigh and enter your chance to win $1,000 in gift cards. Plus, check out their selection of Nike, Champion, Tommy Bahama, and more at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. ShopOnRazorback.com. And by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. So, Matt, I feel like we've documented and covered mostly everything from the game tonight. By the way, the Oklahoma score, a little update on that. Sooners up 24-13. There's a minute 33 left in that game for those curious about the only top 25 matchup of the weekend. But as we wind up here, man, anything else worth noting before we close shop?
Want to give a shout out to Dow Loggins, 2-0 there at App State, doing his thing. It was a good week of college football again. I think next week could be a little better. I'm excited, man. If you were to talk about the last couple years and watching the first couple games and seeing how we're going into it, we look night and day different. This team does than we do the last couple years playing the first couple games and how we're going about it. And it might be the year 2 under Bobby Petrino with Taylor Green making his jump. And how can you not be excited about this Razorback team going to Oxford next week?
Unscathed and unblemished through 2 games, 56-14 the final. We'll find out officially. I heard them talking about this after in the postgame. I think the game's going to end up being at 6 o'clock. We'll have your pregame coverage beginning live from Oxford from Vaught Hemingway Stadium at 1 o'clock next Saturday. But for Matt Jones, I'm Ty Richardson. This has been Hog Reaction. If you missed any of this, we'll have it up for you on our Hit That Line podcast network tomorrow. Matt, good stuff tonight as always, brother.
Hey, good work, dude. Always fun working with you.
All right, I'll see you on Monday. Guys, gals, have a great night. If you're still driving back from Little Rock, be safe. We're live starting at 6 a.m. Monday with Chuck and Bo.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Summer is finally here, and so are the road trips that you've had planned. That's why it's time to visit us at Southern Tire Mart. Southern Tire Mart's expert service, competitive pricing, and top quality tires will ensure your vehicle is ready for all your summer adventures. Visit